For a question like this on the GMAT, the key idea is understanding the definition of x in a bracket. It's telling us that x in a bracket denotes the greatest integer you can find that is less than or equal to that x. So for example, if you have 3.4 in a bracket, for example, you're trying to look for 3.4 on the number line. So if 3.4 shows up here on the number line, on the left of it you would have 3, and on the right of it you have 4. So essentially it's just saying what is the largest integer you're going to get to just before you get to 3.4. Now if 3.4 is a decimal, in this case it is, then the number is usually going to be different from it. But if the 3.4 had happened to be an integer, say we were looking for the 4 in a bracket, for example, the value of 4 in a bracket will also be 4, because that's the largest integer you can find that could be less or equal to 4. So in that case, 4 will just be 4 in a bracket. But in this case, since it's 3.4, the 3.4 in a bracket has to be 3, because that's the largest integer you can find that is not greater than 3.4 but could be less than it. So let's take a look at our question here. We have to look at statement 1. In statement 1, what I want us to recognize here is, remember that in data sufficiency you really don't have to solve the question all the way. If we look at this statement here, there's only one variable, which is the x. This x variable actually, if you solve it, will give you, the x will give you 2 over 3. Just to save us some time, the x is going to give us 2 over 3, which is 0.66 repeated. Well, if we looked at that in a bracket, if we looked at the value of that in a bracket, the question is, if we looked at this on a number line, where would 0.6 show up? It will show up somewhere there. There will be a 0 to the left of it, and there will be a 1 to the right of it. So the question is, what is the largest integer you can find that is less than or equal to this value? What's the largest integer we can find that comes right up to 0.66 but does not go beyond it? Will have to be 0. So to answer the question here, this question, data sufficiency question, it says, is x equal to 0? Is the bracket of x equal to 0? Yes, it is, because the largest integer we can find that is less than or equal to 0.66 is 0 in this particular case. So statement 1 works. If you look at statement 2, let's look at types of values we can find in this range. Well, the kinds of values we will find in this range are very similar to the types we found up top. It's going to be like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Again, if you plotted all these values on a number line, you recognize that to the left of the number line you have 0, to the right of the number line you're going to have 1 somewhere. So what is the largest integer? Again, the key word is, it's saying integer, not just any number. What's the largest integer you can find that is less than or equal to 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.4? The largest, the closest integer you can find is going to be 0. So again, x in a bracket is simply going to again be 0. So as a result, statement 2 also works. So because of this, the answers here for A, B, C, D, and E, the answer would be D, because each statement by itself works and is sufficient. Thank you.